And here we have the EL connector and the notifier bracelet. They are both done and appear to be functional. I haven't actually been able to put any firmware on them yet. I'm still working on developing the firmware. The individual components do seem to work, and the Bluetooth modules are communicating through SWD, so I believe everything seems to be working right. This is what the final product will look like, and hopefully will function once I get the software put together for them. You can see it, they're pretty flexible. And actually fold up pretty nicely in general. So overall, these are pretty good designs, I think. I just figured I should make a larger video here, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about the design in general of these as kits. We will be probably improving battery holders if we do go with any watch battery designs, so that they more snugly hold the batteries. The batteries fall out on these, as is readily apparent when I'm trying to work with them. In addition, the switches that we currently utilize, while they are great for something like our tiny LED projects, they're entirely too tiny for our flex module kits at the moment, and I'd like to get something a little bit bigger, especially so that it easily solders onto the Captain better. Otherwise, I think they're actually pretty decent designs. I've had issues with doing a hand etch, in that I think our acid was too strong for the past couple of days, and so a lot of these are over etched. I've been neutralizing that with hydrogen peroxide and seems to be working pretty well. Also, we'll be obviously improving the connectors for electroluminescence. We won't probably be using these JSTs, but maybe another JST structure. Mini EL works quite well. We have good examples of that functioning. In fact, all of the boards function quite well, but we just don't have the software outside of Arduino, so it's kind of hard to port over to ARM at the moment. It's just something that we've ran out of time for, but we might have in the next couple of weeks if we didn't have a ton of other things we're currently working on as well. But hopefully soon. In general, they seem to be programming pretty easily. We're using standard SWD connection through the Tag Connect, and using the Sega J-Links, and they seem to work pretty well with OpenOCD. Had some issue trying to use our ST-Link, but I'm sure we can resolve that. In general, I like to try and use the same programmer and try as the ST-Link because it's low cost, and there's nice cheap Chinese clones for it. So hopefully we can recommend like a really simplistic programming structure for the boards. In the future, we will make these boards, the NRF 51822 based 3dB BLEs, do over-the-air updates. Ideally, we would have some kind of control capability as well, so that they could then allow for the STM32 boards, none of which are on these two demo boards because these are very simplistic, but allow them to do a firmware update as well. That would be ideal. But we need to basically start working on the phone software before we get that far anyways, which is another thing that's missing. Right now we just have the individual controls and Arduino functioning for the sensors and the output boards, but nothing else really at this point as far as software is designed. Even the cloud software, we're just doing the DevOps side for deploying the cloud stuff because that's my expertise, but hopefully we'll actually start programming some actual web-based APIs here soon. And that's about it for Flex Module demo. We shipped similar ones to Hackaday. They weren't etched as well as these, sadly, so hopefully they can make them work, and if not, it's understandable. I can send some more.